Hi all. Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. We have multiple topics today. We're going to start off talking about Sophie, the Countess of Wessex. Then we're going to move on to some despicable behavior by Omid Scooby-Doo. We're going to touch on some recent articles that came out, including one about their new Hulu special. Lastly, we're going to touch on the new updated royal website. All right, a lot to cover. Let's go. They had their first major interview together, Prince Edward and Sophie, the Countess of Wessex. And they were asked about the Oprah interview, and their response was really funny. They said, "Oprah who? What interview?" Obviously, they know about the interview. I mean, she was just throwing a little shade. It's not like Harry hasn't thrown shade at them. But other than that comment, they had nothing else to say that was, negative. They said, listen, no matter what happens, we're always going to be a family. And she admitted that she had a lengthy conversation with Harry after the funeral. Sophie did say it's kind of odd to be in the middle of things, but that they're flattered to be able to step up and help out as the monarchy is slimming down. So it's such a positive article. I mean, really, they simply took the attention off of Harry and his wife and the Oprah interview, and they wanted to talk about how they're still a family and Philip's legacy and how beautiful the funeral service was. And the response to this was what Omid did, just absolutely shocked me. I found this retweet on Twitter, which absolutely shocked me. Omid essentially threw a bunch of shade at Sophie and Edward and has whipped up the sugars. So, of course, I went over and, as you can see, I saw this for myself. Throwback Friday. This is what he chose to put for Throwback Friday. And these are pictures of Sophie at the Oprah Leadership Academy years and years ago. And you can also see the response from the sugars. Absolutely horrible. They knew what Omid was doing. They knew that he was just throwing shade. And instead it's, oh, look at the receipts. Look at this. She knows who Oprah is. I mean, I'm not trying to be smart, but are these people really that stupid and dense that they can't figure it out? So people started throwing their support behind Sophie, pointing out that she was defending the Archbishop. And they said things like, she's underrated. She does her job quietly and effectively. She's an asset, a lovely person, and the Queen has a soft spot for her as well. I think she did absolutely the correct thing. She didn't allow them to turn the conversation into something big. She just wanted to talk about what she wanted to talk about. And in the interview, well done, Sophie. Now, for the second part of this video, I just want to make an observation about the media. Whenever they start to fall out of the media, their PR machine puts something out there to try to keep them relevant. And here are just a few examples of what I'm talking about. This article came out a few days before the baby was born, where they said the baby would be born on Thursday and that they thought the baby would be named after the Duke, the Queen, or Princess Diana, which actually is what happened. And the idea behind this was to get everybody excited about the upcoming birth. I thought I'd be excited, but I wasn't. Then if you notice, this book, The Bench, really everybody whipped it up into a frenzy and then it just kind of fell away and you never heard anybody talking about it anymore. And so what did the PR machine do? They put out another story, how she dedicated the book to her husband and her child. Just trying to keep the book relevant and in the press. And then the next story came out. Meghan is concerned that Harry's criticism of William is a big mistake because he's going to be king someday. I find it very interesting that they don't say anything about her mistakes. It's all Harry's mistakes. And it says in the interview that Meghan wants to lay low and help Harry avoid any more big drama. Anyway, I think you guys see what I'm talking about. Anytime they're not trending, PR puts something out about something so that people will be talking about them. That's the main point. Now, the next topic I want to cover is how Meghan and Harry have been demoted on the royal family website. And they were demoted on the website because they're not working royals. They're not really royals as far as I'm concerned. And they actually come in below Andrew, which I found absolutely hilarious. One of the articles that came up that really caught my attention was written by an African-American lady at Cosmopolitan. And as you can see at the bottom, she basically said what they did by demoting them on there was rude, completely ignoring the fact that they're not working royals anymore. But their updated biographies just astound me. Harry's reads, as announced in January, the Duke and Duchess have stepped back as senior members of the royal family. They are balancing their time between the UK and North America, continuing to honor their duty to the Queen, the Commonwealth, and their patronages. Frogmore Cottage in the UK remains their family home. Meghan says, the Duchess will continue to support a number of charitable causes and organizations which reflect the issues with which she has been so long associated with, including the arts, access to education, support for women, and animal welfare. I'm absolutely stunned. They do not balance their time between the two continents. They do not honor the Queen, the Commonwealth, and their patronages, at least the ones that they've decided to keep. I don't understand why they're even still listed on the website. I don't get it. And finally, we have this, which just came to my attention. I will never believe that Harry and Meghan had nothing to do with this, but this is a special that Hulu is running called The American Royal Baby. This special looks at Uncle Will and Aunt Kate, and who will be part of the extended family? Who will be the godparents? Let's look at celebrity play dates. I am getting ready to cancel my Hulu subscription. And I hate to point this out, we don't have American royalty. We won a war over that, so wow. I'm getting ready to write to Hulu and tell them what I think. Now I have a quick Finn update for you. I want you to know that when I took Finn into the trainers, and by the way, you guys, when I take Finn in, he is so excited to get there. He's jumping and running and the tail is wagging. Anyway, they tried to recreate the conditions and they have never found Finn to be aggressive in any way. The trainer said that girl could have had on lotion or some sort of smell on her, something that brought him back to before we got him. But she didn't find he was aggressive at all. So everything seems well in his world. And I want to thank everybody for their love and concern. So with all of that in mind, make sure to leave your comments below. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. Make sure you email me. Don't forget about that coffee fund. And as always, you guys, have a great day.